Highlights Hawaii USC. We start off with the opposite. Rado Parapunov, who was dropping bombs all night long. The lefty out of Bulgaria with a team-high, match-high 16 kills and hit an even 500 on the night. On the other side of the net, Gianluca Grasso leading the way for the Trojans. Grasso had a team-high 10 kills, hit 227 on the night. He even contributed a couple of service aces for USC. And then Stein von Tilburg, 15 kills. Get this, he hit 609 to lead Hawaii in the hitting percentage category. He also had 8 digs and a couple of blocks for Stein von Tilburg, as Hawaii makes it an 1-2 adios evening over USC.
This is the post-game show on Spectrum Sports.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for sticking around on this Saturday night. A little bit later than usual, but worth staying up for, as Hawaii claims the Hawaiian Airlines Rainbow Warrior Classic with a sweep of USC. They just announced the all-tournament team, guys. No surprise, Rado Parapunov, Stein von Tilburg, and the guy that we all thought should be the MVP, and he was, Joe Worsley.
Yeah, well-deserved honor for Joe Worsley, and it's hard to decide between Stein and Rado because both of them had phenomenal nights, but you have to remember, they would not be getting their kills had it not been for their setter. Joe Worsley really proving to not only the state, but to the rest of the country that he is one of the top setters in the country as we look at the highlights of Joe Worsley.
I'll tell you what, this is his second opportunity to be the most outstanding player. Not opportunity, but he's earned this. Last year, he was also the most outstanding player in this tournament.
Well, you look what he did the first night. Hawaii hit over 600 last night. I think about 425-ish. And then tonight, 456. And so, I mean, those are just tremendous hitting percentages. Of course, they're not going to hit that all season long, but they might.
They might. You know, and I'm thinking, one thing that I would never want is Charlie Wade as a professor or a teacher. He gave this team a B. I mean, I don't know how much better this team can do. I mean, yes, they have some things to learn, but at least an A-, a
right.
B.
Well, that's what Chris McLaughlin was saying, but I think it was that they missed 8 serves.
Okay.
Maybe that was it, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
that's the only
good
fault I
problem to
can
have.
truly see.
Yeah.
It sounds like Bill Belichick or Nick Saban, where their teams do so well. You got to find something so they can concentrate on in the gym. But as far as we're concerned, that was an A performance this weekend. All right, let's take a look at the final numbers from this evening's match. And they favor the University of Hawaii. Look at that hitting percentage, 456. They outblocked them, outdug them. They just did everything so well.
Well, all weekend, their hitting percentage was just incredible. Ending up with 456 the first night, 613. The second night, I believe it was 435. Those are astronomical kill percentage numbers.
And the individual performances as well. I mean, you look at Stein von Tilburg. I mean, he hit 609. That is not easy to do. I mean, you think about the amount of balls that he is being set, and to be able to hit at that high of a percentage, you do not see that very often because of the fact of the amount of balls. So that means that he's not only getting kills, but he's being extremely efficient, very low errors. And that, I think, right there is really a key, is that big set or that pipe set out of the back row, because once that gets established, that really gets Stein going. And I think they have to continue to incorporate that into their offense.
Well, to keep it in perspective, he had 1 hitting error tonight in 23 attempts. So that just, I mean, that is crazy numbers. And not only the hitting, but the efficiency like Ryan's talking about, but the power behind. USC had 2 blocks total. All night long, 2 blocks total. They could not stop Hawaii's offense.
And this is USC, mind you. I mean, it's not, you know, Concordia. I mean, all respect to those guys. But USC is a reputable name, a team that contends for a national championship. When in any other sport does Hawaii put up these kinds of numbers against a USC? Very rare.
And you mentioned 609. That's more like you get from a middle hitter.
Right.
Not from an outside hitter. All righty. We'll take a break. Come back. We'll have more from the corner as you see Hawaii celebrating the championship.
Welcome back to the post-game show on Spectrum Sports.
So the opening weekend is pal. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Levitt, Yamani, and Sodner. There you see Hawaii doesn't play again till the very first day of February. They'll take on Stanford on the 1st and 2nd. Then they travel to the mainland for some matches there. And the Cardinal will be definitely a step up from what they saw this weekend. I mentioned that Charlie Stanford beat Ohio State tonight, but overall, you have to be pleased with what you saw Thursday, Friday, and this evening.
Well, I think how can you not be pleased? I mean, they just won the tournament, and they did it they really annihilated the other teams. They came out with I don't know if you want to call it a vengeance or what you want to call it, but they came out with their foot on the gas, and they never let it up.
And I think you have to look to that second set here tonight where Hawaii was challenged in that second set by USC, potentially going to extra play in that set. But I think one of the highlights of this team is you could just see them raise the level. When USC started creeping up, they almost took it to another gear. The balls were being hit harder. The defense was insane. And I think that's what you want to see. You not only want this team to be tested, but be able to respond. And in that second set, they certainly did.
The folks here are hungry. They're like looking around going, gosh, we got to wait till 1st of February to see them play again. All right, we'll take our final break, come back, and we'll have a very special guest here in the corner.
Welcome back to the post-game show on Spectrum Sports.
And welcome back to the corner where Dalton Solberg, outstanding middle blocker for the University of Hawaii, joins us. And first off, congratulations not only on tonight, but this entire weekend. You guys looked terrific. Kind of assess how you thought you guys played.
It was a lot of fun, I mean, first and foremost. And I think the attitude that we went into this weekend is, last season ended with a little bit of a sour taste in our mouth, and we wanted to come out here and take it to these teams and protect the house. So,
your coach Charlie Wade tonight gave your team a B, right?
We're scratching our head. We're like, we don't want him as our teacher.
And
if you guys are
we
B.
felt, what would you as a player on the court, and you're out there playing and participating in tonight's match, what would you rank your team?
Maybe like an A-.
Yeah, see, that's what I said.
That's what I
I'll keep it an A, but definitely in that second set, we had a little trouble finishing it off. I think that's probably where he's coming from. He was a little upset about that one, but definitely that's a theme for us is we play really good at the beginning of sets, and we just got to finish them off.
We see a different play out of you this year. You're running behind the setter off of 1 foot. We saw it a little bit last year. A little bit was tighter to the setter, but now you're going all the way to the pin. Talk about the evolution of the slide, and is this something you guys were working hard on, and how difficult was it maybe to incorporate that?
It wasn't too difficult. I mean, we kind of run it in the practice gym a little bit, kind of just in the practice gym, and it's just one of the ways. I'm a little bit undersized as a middle blocker. It's just a way to use my foot speed to my advantage, and a lot of teams we play have a little bit shorter outside hitters, so trying to exploit the blocking, and
You guys are also running a quicker offense, and I love that quick set to you from Worsley, and it seems like it works 10 out of 10 times. I think maybe one time tonight, and I'm not sure if it was you or Gassman, it was hit outside, but explain about the connection, because it looks like you guys have really worked a lot on that.
Joe and I have been on the same side of the practice gym since I was a freshman. We were both freshman and sophomore year on the B side, and then this year and last year we were on the A side, and so that's a really effective set. And as you see tonight, when it's running in the middle goes with me, Rattle's got one blocker, and when Rattle's got one blocker, there's not a lot of teams that can stop him, so it works.
Share with the viewing audience a little bit about your serving this year. It seems to really have improved, if you will, and Coach Charlie came over and was talking with us a little bit about how much time you've really put into being a better server.
After last season, it's definitely the main thing about my game that I wanted to improve on. And this summer, I was here over the summer for an internship, and I was kind of the only guy in the gym for a while. So serving's kind of the only thing you can do when you're by yourself. But it's very good to see that the hard work is paying off. I definitely want to be more accurate and hit it harder. And I think towards the end of last season, I started hitting it a little bit harder and getting teams out of system, and it was working. So I think if I can do that throughout this season, we're going to win a couple more games.
Do you know what your highest speed is so far?
My record is on the first night, 72.3.
Yeah.
That was my fastest
sweet.
so far, yeah. So,
when you think
cool.
about your career as a whole, you think back to your sophomore season, you came in during a very clutch game when Hendrick actually sprained his ankle. You guys are in the national championship, in that setting, starting that last year, going into this season. What has this experience been like for you, and what is your mindset going into your last year here?
For a guy like me that's been a B-side player for half the time I've been here. I definitely don't take it at all for granted, being a starter and being on this court and playing in front of these fans. And I just want to do everything that I can to help my team win. You know, I love these guys, and I want to see us be really successful. And I know that I can be a big part of that. And yeah.
You guys don't play again until February 1st against Stanford here at home. So it's a pretty good break after just starting the season. As a player, how do you feel? Are you okay with that break, or would you like to get right back on the floor in a couple days?
I mean, the player in me, I want to play games. You know, that's why we're here. But at the same time, it kind of gives us a couple weeks so we can really push it in the practice gym and get better. You know, like this last week when you play on a Thursday, you don't really want to go as hard at practice. You don't want to get tired. You don't want to risk injuries. So being able to go hard in practice for a couple of weeks is a good thing for sure.
All right, well, we look forward to the next match against the Cardinal of Stanford. It was a pleasure watching you and your teammates this weekend. It was fun. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, that'll do it for us here this evening at the Stan Sheriff Center, where it was outstanding volleyball for the Rainbow Warriors. Special thanks to our outstanding sports crew, and also for Dalton, for Ryan, for Lisa. I'm Scott. Until next time, we bid you aloha and a good evening from the Stan Sheriff Center in Mano.